Guys, thanks for joining us. Gaffer, we'll start with you. Scunthorpe at the weekend. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
It'd be a long old trip up there. They're not doing the best at the minute, but you can't read into league things and what have you, form and all that at the moment. Yeah, we just go up there and give it the best we can.
Obviously, you spoke about it in your post-match a little bit, but it was great to see some of the likes of Joel Lynch returning on Tuesday night from injuries. I suppose it's going to be really important to keep those players fit, because we're heading into that sort of period where all managers like to talk about it, the busy Christmas period. We've got a few Tuesday nights coming up. We might have some cancellations. How important is it going to be to have everybody fit for that period?
It's important to have the whole squad fit, and as I said to you the week, the difficulty is that Will might find it as well. When the players are coming back who haven't played, they've got to get fit. When you can't get your match fitness, you've got to get it through the matches. You can't really do it because we haven't got the friendlies, so you've got to be so careful monitoring the players that you don't want to get them injured again, pulling hamstrings and things like that because they're catching up on it. Well, that's it's just something you've got to live with and you've got to manage it.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned Will there. Obviously he's on his own road to recovery in terms of getting full fit to play the 90 minutes again. How important has he been to your squad so far this season?
It hasn't been important at all. It's just been another number. No, of course he has. He's worked hard. He's a good player. You like to think you're signing good players, and I think he's enjoyed it. And I think it's a good opener for Will to see where he has been, and obviously been there. And we was there in the Prem and everything. It's a good way for them to learn their trade. But at the same token, it's got to be beneficial. All you got to remember as a club, you're getting someone else's player ready for the other team, ready for their parent club, i.e. Southampton. So let's hope he goes back and rips it up in the Premier League.
Another thing you touched on after Tuesday night was the fans. Amazing how, despite the result, they did stick with us. You said you'd never seen anything like it, how one group of fans sort of stuck together as one. I'm sure those would be right behind us on Saturday as well.
I just think that they stuck with us together, and it's good to see. You've got the boys staying behind the goals that go to the away games and everything. It's a good atmosphere, and I think they can see how close we are to doing something. But if we're not careful saying how close we could be, I'm not going to wind up sitting here in 6-8 weeks' time saying what I get sacked for, because we ain't won any games. That's what you judge them.
And Will, obviously since you've joined, how have you found the fans so far?
Well, it's been good. It's been new to me playing in front of fans, and it definitely gives you that extra boost. Obviously they're always behind you, even in difficult times like on Tuesday night where we've gone down to 10 men, but it definitely gives you that extra boost, and they don't stop singing, especially with the away games, especially the long trips. Hartlepool, Scunthorpe, Rochdale, they're always there supporting, so it's great.
And obviously the gaffer touched on it there as well. You were almost on your own road to recovery. Obviously after the Bradford game you scored your first goal, and then obviously unfortunately you picked up an injury just a few moments later. How is that going? Are you feeling like back to full fitness yet, or?
Yeah, I feel good. I've been working hard to get back. I just want to make sure that I'm fit enough to contribute to the team, and the gaffer's good with that. He don't want you playing unless you're fully fit and you can do your bit for the team. Otherwise you're going to let everyone else down and not just yourself. So I personally think I'm ready to play and contribute again, and I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Mark?
Will, on Tuesday night all the decisions seem to go against Crawley. Does that bring the team closer together, like the next stage you're going in? Does it bring you all a bit closer together, sort of like a team spirit in that? Or? I
don't think it's from that. We have a good team spirit anyway, and I don't think there's any better test of character than them situations, and especially losing the game. I think this game on Saturday now is a great test for us, and I hope that we show everyone and show the fans that we are a good close-knit group, and we've got a team spirit to go and get a result and bounce back.
Yeah, and what's it like for someone who's come from a Premier League club having to go to Scunthorpe away on a Saturday? Is it something you relish as a player?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's every game, every day. It's a new learning experience, and I'm becoming a better player, I think, and a better person all around, just from the experiences I'm going through. And I've played at Scunthorpe once, I think, in the Youth Cup when I was at Bury, like a very long time ago. So I've got good memories there. So I'm hoping we can create some more.
Excellent, thanks, Will. And John, you said something on Tuesday night after the game that you thrive best when everything seems against you and it's a bit backs to the wall. Is this one of those moments now after a couple of home defeats? Do you feel this is the time to? I
think you take the job as Crawley manager. I think that's how you are every week. It's just to prove a point, you know. You can't blame referees while we're losing, but it's just the inconsistency and the incompetence of some of them. And it is difficult when we've had the injuries, as Will's just saying there. It's getting the players to where they can do themselves justice, because I won't play nobody unless they're 100% fit. And you're only going to get 45 minutes, so you've got to use your subs. You've got to make sure that the boys, it's getting the trust of the lads, knowing that you're not just giving them a load of old flannel because you want to leave them out. It's not. You've got to work your way back in and make sure you do yourself justice, because it's pointless Will coming in for a week and then being out for 3 or 4 weeks for me saying I want to play you, because then it all becomes about me. Well, it's not. It's about the team. And that's the big difference. I think we have got a very, very good team spirit, and we always will have, you know, good or bad. It's just that when you see things that you can't influence, like I was going to say, no, I haven't been fined yet, so I better keep that. When you see people that, in my opinion, shouldn't be refereeing games like that or making decisions collectively, it's frustrating.
Yeah, and Sam mentioned that Joel Lynch was back on Tuesday. Great to see him back. Oozed class as soon as he came on. Have you got anyone else coming back this week, or anyone you can start introducing again, do you think?
No, not at the moment. You know, as Will just said about, you know, going, people forget that when you get these players, when we was at Bournemouth and that, and getting players out on loan at Premier League, after these, when they're in the 21s, 23s, whatever they call them now, they don't see the stadiums.
No.
They go there and there's a one man and his dog who's hopefully brought a friend with him. So when they go there, it's a confident way of how he's taking it. You know, when you go to Old Trafford and there's 60, 70,000 fans, even, you know, when you walk out there from us at Bournemouth and you look at it, and once the game goes, I said before, it's really nice when you don't hear the crowd, because you know you're doing something right to shut them up.
Yeah. And Scunthorpe, like already been referenced, they're struggling this year. You don't prepare any differently for that. It's just another game for you, isn't
They're only struggling in other people's eyes. I don't know what's going on at Scunthorpe. All I'm worried about, all I know is if we don't win, then we're struggling. You know, I've heard some people saying it already. You know, I think we're 4 off the players.
Yeah. But
we had all that last year. If. I don't want to become an if side or an only side. You've either got to be one or the other. We're either going to be, yes, we're going to go for X, or if we don't, we're going to be mid-table. And nobody you want to be as high. You want to challenge yourself. Will tell you. You know, he's been on international duties. You go out there. You want to go to these places and win. You know what he sets up to lose, do you? One thing that everyone has to keep remembering, and it's a very, very unheard of thing in football, or remembered thing, I should say. There is an opposition out there. It's desperate, but they've got to start winning, Scunthorpe. You know, so when you look at it, it's not no easy games. No. And they'll be doing their own work on us as much as we're doing our own work on them. So it's game on, and if you lose that, you hope that match who you're playing against, know your players, know your levels, all the things. Doesn't matter whatever level you go at. That's why we'll be going back a better player from here, regardless.
Yeah, and obviously apart from a win, you'll be hoping to face a good referee as well on Saturday.
I just hope to face a referee.
Thanks, John.
Tim?
John, yes. Your post-match comments after Tuesday, there are a lot of likes on social media. Tina Naderson was amongst many who really praised you for standing up for your players, for Ashley, for what you thought. And it's been really well appreciated by the fans that you have the players back, John. Well,
I don't think so. There's two things of having the players back. One, you don't do it just to crawl up people's backsides. True, you're honest and seeing what you're seeing. And as Will tell you, and hopefully he'll tell you, we are all in it together, because if they do well, I do well. If I do well, they do well. We're at a stage at a football club where you know that you're going to kick players on to higher divisions and higher levels. Your Max Watters, your people like that. You know, even Panucci and all that doing well up at Plymouth and that now. And if the players see that you've got you become like your average lying person in football, which there's quite a lot of, well then you're going to lose the respect of them. And there's one thing I don't do, I try not to do, is I was going to think of another word for it, then I was going to swear, is lie to people. Because we are sticking together. If I thought Nadders was wrong on Tuesday, I'll be first to say it. But for me, I've watched it so many times, and that, you know, we're talking about Nadders here. You're talking about the Incredible Hulk. You know, if he would have stood there, the geezer would have done him, and Nadders, like I said, you could have been in Red Hill Hospital. And Nadders ain't the sort of person who's going around ripping up phone books every week, you know what I mean? He's one of the most he saves the world every weekend on his computer playing the games. So, you know, compliments to him.
And you do sometimes get, don't you, overreaction, a couple of home defeats and people might talk crisis. You are, as you say, still 3 points in touch of the very early playoff places.
Listen, Tim, crisis to me, when you look at what's going on in the world, that's a crisis. When you see things happening, you know, we're not under a crisis. You're working at a football club that you've lost 2 games by default, or who's to say whether we should have won them, I don't know. You know, if we haven't won them, it's simple. But crisis, you know, worry about crisis. Crisis when you're sitting there and can't pay your mortgage and you're getting sacked and your redundancies for it. Or you go back to Bournemouth, that's a crisis.
What do you tell the players ahead of a game like Scunthorpe? You've been in the game a long time. They've won 1 in 13, they're bottom of the table. Players might look at that and go, this could be an easier afternoon. What would you say?
Well, I'd turn around and I'd say, I know what Scunthorpe would be saying. Let's look at Crawley. They've lost the last 2. If there's a way we're going to pick ourselves up, let's get at these lot. So the lads don't get told any different. We're a good bunch of lads. We're a good bunch of players. You get out there and earn the right to play. You show respect to the opposition. But if we do what we do on our day and get beat by a good side, so be it. Don't get beat easy. Don't give silly goals away like we've been going. You know, we're being known like, really, we're like, at the moment, we're like a tombola stall. You buy a ticket, you might score, and that's what we're doing. You've got to cut that out.
And Will, you've come on loan to the club. I guess you're listening to everyone, to the gaffer, to the captain, to the senior players in the dressing room with regards to games like this, as we've heard already. Going to Scunthorpe on a Saturday afternoon is a little different to your experience with Southampton in the top flight.
Well, for me, it's just all about becoming that professional football. You've got the old saying of you're not a professional footballer until you make 50 league appearances. It's all part of that experience of knowing how to manage different challenges, different games, and getting through it and performing to your best. So I don't see it as a different type of experience. It's just a different challenge. It's something else I've got to overcome, and is part of becoming that professional footballer that I want to be.
What are those attributes that you get from a club like Crawley then? Because it's tough and honest down this level, isn't it?
Yeah, personally, I think it's making me more robust. The schedule is obviously very busy. You've got a lot of games in a short period of time. You've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be honest with everyone around you. If you're not giving everything, then the team's going to be on you. You've got to be part of the team and give everything. Otherwise, you're going to be letting people down. I think it is. It's that part of just real football. You can't. There's nowhere to hide. You can't hide on a Saturday when you're in front of the fans. You can't let down the gaffer. You can't let down the team, because a lot depends on it. You can't slack. So I think it is that just giving everything all the time. There's no hiding from that.
And that both of you on Saturday.
Cheers.
As I say, I think just finish it up on that. I think with Will as well there, you know, his language has got better. He's learned a lot more swear words. He's also, as you can detect, he has got an accent, so he's the only one looking forward to going at Scunthorpe because it's nearer his house. So he's up there. So he knows the area. He's a translator the weekend.
And quickly, finally, John, then a word from you on Will. I mean, bringing in a player with his undoubted quality from a Premier League club, what do you want from him?
A couple of grand when he signs his first pro contract wouldn't go amiss. No, it's just having been there. It's just a difference. It's a difference. This academy football, you know, and whatever pro sort of like side from the academy, there's boys there, and it's took a lot of balls for him to come down to this level and to prove it at this level, because some are playing in the academies, the physicalities alone they wouldn't be able to handle. And you know, you're not getting a report sent to you by 67 people telling you how to do your laces up, and you know, someone helping him comb his hair, and someone telling him the reasons for growing a beard and things like that, what we're trying to talk him out of. And it's just being a man. It's just being a man on the football pitch. You know, you've got someone like Tony Craig who's played 650 games, Glenn Morris played 500 league games, and you know, George Frankham, and then you go the other side of it, the Tom Nicholses who at Will's age had gone for big money at the time, you know, to Peterboroughs and places like this. So it's a learning curve, and hopefully he'll learn things here that you never ever forget, good or bad, because it ain't all going to be good for him. You know, let's not dress it up like he's come spending a couple of months at the Vatican. he's there to be learnt and he's there to be abused and well, abused is the wrong word. If he's not doing right, he gets told he's not doing right, and vice versa. We get told by the fans we're not doing right. So it's just a whole learning curve. You know, it's the real world.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
See, he's learning already.